Hello, hello, hello. We're not going to take too long. We're going to just get right into this because it's a very long one. So 3, 2, 1. Whoop. Let's see. Can I? Whoop. Okay, I suck at this. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So this is a big piece that I did for the month of June. I hope you guys like it. This was meant to be a small thing. We're going to be here a long time looking at this half-hour long time lapse. Holy moly. Yeah, most of it's going to be sketching and line work because that takes the longest for strokes because there's most strokes there. Sorry, I'm going to turn on my fan. It's scorching hot. So, been putting off doing this video. It's been a bit of a delay. You might see a couple of censorship blurs here in the sketch phase, but those should be done by the end, because, yeah, by the end of it should be fine. But I have I have some trouble drawing false here. I don't know why. I've been drawing this character a lot, and I seem to really struggle. But that's art sometimes. I feel like I'm getting better now. You know, this is me trying to relearn anatomy, I guess, being rusty and all. People do compliment my anatomy, but I think you'll see in my sketching phases, it doesn't always come together, and I often have to completely course correct to get it adequate enough to where you all like it, you know? I'm drawing these giant Disney eyes. Had to rework those a bit to get them looking right. And I think they look fine there by the end. This one's 7. He's a crow. That's what I'm sketching in now. One of my favorite characters here. I think he turned out very well. But yeah, I have so many characters here. It's kind of crazy. I was intending to just draw ones that people recommend. Which I started off by doing, plus a few handfuls of ones I thought I had to add in to represent my my crew. But I ended up just drawing like the vast majority of my characters that would fit the Pride theme for the month. But yeah, we end up with what we have here, which is I think about 50 characters, maybe more, maybe less. It was somewhere around 50, though, and a lot of them end up being Pokemon. Ironically, I used to complain that most of my commissions were for Pokemon. I didn't understand why Pokemon was so insanely popular. Now, a lot of my characters are Pokemon, and a lot of my drawings are of Pokemon for free. And just, I draw them on my free time because they're cool designs. I mean, there's a reason why the series is as financially successful as it is. And I'm really struggling drawing a dog here. So, you're gonna see me fiddle with this for a long time. So, I'm gonna have to do some research, find out anatomy, you know. I'm struggling with things that I didn't think I'd struggle with. So, yeah, it is what it is. Here we're getting the first Pokemon OCs into the drawing. Man, I was exhausted after this one. This one took me weeks of just grinding this out. And I'm fairly happy with how it turned out. Hopefully this project can get more eyes on it. You know, I haven't done many YouTube videos, unfortunately, but they're just a little time consuming. I've been focusing on other things, and, you know, I'm glad you people stick around and you like the videos, but yeah, I wish I could put out more because I think the demand's higher than the supply, but yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I do record a lot of these time lapses, but it takes me a while to get around to actually recording audio for them. Yeah, as you can see, in the sketching phase, I'm just sort of throwing everything at the wall and going with whatever sticks eventually. There's a lot of ideas here that completely change by the end of it. Yeah, I'm not liking how this is turning out, but I do like how it turns out by the end. I think we're getting there. I think we're getting close to what I end up drawing here in the corner. Oh, we're almost there. That looks much better. Yep, that's good. We're there now. Sometimes you just have to delete your art and keep redrawing it to get it looking right. You have to accept that you're just, what you've drawn isn't working over and over and over again. I can't say I've planned any of this out really. I'm just sort of plopping characters down as I go, not thinking too much about it, trying to keep the flow up. I say flow, but this is a multi-week project. What, it took 3 weeks, I think, from start to finish? I don't know how much raw time that is. Like how much time of actually drawing. It must have been a lot, though, because the time-lapse is half an hour long. Time-lapse is going to be a small fraction of the total drawing. A lot of characters here that I'm drawing as well are newcomers. You'll see that I haven't drawn a number of these characters before, or at least not semi-finalized designs for them. Man, I'm really struggling with this one. The more humanoid the proportions are, I think the more I struggle with the faces. That's just a lack of experience. 2 people pointed out these 2 in the top left corner, that they really like them. So it's funny that that's one of the quickest pairs in this entire drawing. It seems to be the ones people are really drawn to. Though it's in the top left corner, North Americans are gonna find them first. It draws the eye there, you know, reading order and all. I can't say I thought of rule of thirds or anything like that. This is kind of just a huge, huge group project where I'm just cramming all these characters in, sort of wherever I think they'll fit. And we have a bunch of evolutions in the background. I decided to plop in 9 evolutions here. So that was a bit crazy. That's when the drawing goes off the rails. And I go whole hog, end up putting like 50 characters in. It was intended to be a much smaller drawing. Now it's crazy. Everyone is here. But no, yeah, I hope you like how this turns out. Let me know if you want who your favorite characters are here. I don't know if I'll be able to list them off in the thing. I might just cut in like a guide with names and stuff like that at some point in the video. That might be the best way to label them. Actually, I should have done that before. That would have been very useful for people. But yeah, this was an experience. Very tiring. I think it's good though. It's good practice for, say, comic art, where you just have to draw a lot and quickly. And I drew a lot, I didn't really draw quickly. I don't have the fundamentals down enough, you know? That's one thing I really learned here. Would have been nice to be really incredible at anatomy and figure drawing and dynamic poses. So I sort of learned what I need to work on quite a bit. I do like how this Vaporeon turns out. Probably my favorite of these evolutions back here, actually. I wasn't expecting that when I went into this, but yeah, turned out really good. Really good proportions, actually. Not gonna lie, I think I messed up the Jolteon here. I think I made him too scrawny. I think he's off model in this one. So yeah, I think I goofed that. I think the Jolteon and the Espeon are possibly off model here. Probably off model, but the rest of them probably look fine. Yeah, and we're just adding additional Pokemon here. We eventually add a Magikarp. I like how the Magikarp turns out. I don't know if we add the Magikarp right away or if it comes in late into the drawing. Is that the Meowth? I think that's a Meowth that we're adding. I forgot what we called him. Here comes the Magikarp. I like the Magikarp. The Magikarp's kind of incredible. He looks very funny. I like how he turned out. Sorry for the noise. I'm just drinking an energy drink, and I have the fan blasted because I think it's probably only like 30 degrees Celsius, but I don't know. I'm morbidly obese. 30 degrees Celsius is scorching hot as far as I'm concerned, and I'm in a closed small room with a computer running. Yeah, we have Munin and Carbon here. See, a lot of these are characters from comics that you're not going to see for a while because comics take a long time to make. And I'm still working on Rogues. So, yeah, we'll see if I can up the production speed on that. Maybe I could consider hiring people, dropping some money in to get people to help. That could be an option, because I think the writing's there, but my art isn't quite at the level where I can whip these comics out the way I'd like to do them. Yeah, I decided to plop 3 national birds in here. North America, basically. I like how these turn out by the end. Yeah, we're approaching the end. As I said, I don't have all the characters here. I say we're approaching the end. We're halfway through the time lapse, literally halfway. But yeah, there are a few characters that I could have added to this, but I was just like, I have 50 here. Like, you have to be kidding me. Like, this is so tiring. I just wanted to get it over with. I'm happy with what is here. I'm happy with what I have done. I think it was a good way to shake the rust off, I guess, you know? Some last minute additions here to fill in the space. Yeah, holy moly, we're almost through the sketch, finally. This character I end up scrapping. Couldn't get him looking right. So I just go whatever, he's out of there. Onto the lining. At first I was thinking, oh, this will be line layer 1. This will be the first pass of lines. And I realized, that's insane. Let's just try to do one pass of lines, period. Because I don't want to redraw all this again. And I think it turned out alright by the end of it. My lines are getting better. You know, that's a big thing I've been trying to weed out, because someone told me my lines were too sloppy to do commissions, like, I think 5 years back, and they weren't wrong. Hand struggles here. You're gonna see me struggle with this hand forever. And this is when I realized I need to practice hands more. I'm always hiding characters' hands behind their backs and stuff. Always putting them in fists so I don't have to draw the fingers. But yeah, that's a huge one that I'm gonna have to work on. And I think I've already improved quite a bit on hands in the next drawing that I did, which you might see eventually too. I might do a video for that, because I do have the time-lapse for that. But yeah, wow. Was this ever a tiring project? I'm still working out poses and stuff, even though by the lining phase you should have finalized your poses. You're just cleaning up the sketch lines, essentially, drawing over with more confident strokes. But hey, we're not we're not perfect here. We do things slapdash at times. I'm gonna say this guy I'm lining in here, Discerno. I'm not entirely happy with this rendition. I think this is the beta rendition of him. He'll probably end up changing by the end. But that it is what it is. Sometimes you plow through and it's fine having prototypes and then they change. Okay. Yeah. Whew. Jeez, it's a scorcher here. I guess in the drawing, too. I feel like I actually used to be better at expressions than I am now. Back when I was a worse artist. Honestly, I think that's a bit of why sometimes my pieces don't get as much traction as I expect. The art quality goes up, but, like, it's missing the personality. But I think I'm sort of working on bringing that back in. The balance of cartoony and realistic, you know? Man, really struggling with the barn owl head there. You have marlin, a sailfish here. Really struggling with that. I'm gonna work on its fin a bit more later on. Because I put it too low, it just looks wrong there. But it'll be a while before I come back to that. I think in the lining phase, I mess with this quite a bit too, because it's still looking really weird. And I'm trying to look at actual pictures of dogs. I'm trying to look at Kankit's art. And eventually I just kind of delete this and go right back into sketching it out, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Because it's just not working the way I intended. I'm not visualizing it correctly, so... Is this it? Is this where I get it looking good enough? No, I think I erase all this crap because the perspective's just messed up. Yeah, I think this is this is gonna be erased at some point, completely redrawn. No? Do I just leave it like that? I think I might, actually. I thought I remember at some point completely erasing that and redoing it. But I guess I was wrong. Yeah, no, I left it like that by the end. I mean, it looks fine like that. Looks okay. Looked better than what it was before. Now, I think I get into some crazy shading here using a halftone brush. And I'll actually keep this up at the end of the drawing. I'll actually go in, halftone the whole piece for shading, which might not have been necessary, but it was a neat idea. And wow, Axel is always insanely tedious to draw because we've got all these round shapes, we've got all these bits where, like, you know, I almost feel like an engineer trying to draw this character out each time. Yeah, I can't even explain my exact logic here, trying to work that out. It's proportions, I guess. I mean, not proportions, but like perspective, like visualizing a sphere, two spheres within each other in 3D space at an angle. And I'm not very good at that. That's probably very easy, two spheres, but it showcases just how bad I am at 3D space. I often go off of intuition because I can't work it out in my brain for some reason. He turned out really good by the end of it, though. But wow, did that ever take a long time to work out? Tedious. For a main character in a comic, yeah, that might be a problem if I'm drawing him tens of thousands of times. And he takes that long each time. Might as well render out a 3D model in Blender at that point. Oh, there's Goph. Goph's unironically the best character I've ever created, I think. Actually kind of like him. I like my sort of shitpost characters the most. At times. Oh, yep. And here I do some halftone shading. I finally figure it out and go, oh, okay, this is neat. I like this effect. I sort of stick with it through this piece. And it looks fine. I think it looks pretty good. I think I'm understanding it now. Before I was like, oh, this is an ugly way to shade. Now it's like, oh, cool. It's kind of like dithering. It's pretty much dithering. Gives it a, like, weird, nostalgic video game or comic look, you know? I'm thinking it's like a point-and-click adventure type of cartoony look. Yeah, holy moly. The vast majority of this drawing is lines and sketching, but that's not a huge surprise. Especially since I didn't really have a clear vision going into this. Everything's sort of slapdash, so you see a lot of stuff that doesn't end up in the final drawing here. And we just blast through the coloring, probably because it's not shaded like fully. It's not fully rendered. It's the halftone shading, so that isn't going to take as long to do. It's essentially like cell shading, you know, it's like one pass, one type of shading, as opposed to realistic shading where you're actually blending it out, layering it up, doing all that good stuff. It's simple. I kept it simple. And if I hadn't, it would have been worse for the drawing, I'm pretty sure. It's already so complicated that you kind of have to simplify and pick and choose what to draw people's eyes to. If it was all super realistic, it would be distracting. It would be a mess. People wouldn't even know what to look at. Or maybe I'm just being pretentious. I don't know. Now we're lining out the evolutions. This'll take a while. There's just so many of them all the time. But yeah, it's like they say about writing, you know? A novel's written, what, one sentence at a time? This drawing's drawn one character at a time, you know? By the end of it, it's like, oh, wow, okay, I have all this drawn. Yeah, there's only a little bit more to draw. So all in all, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. Definitely could have been better, but, you know, I'm a growing artist. I think we all are. Even the ones that we think are perfect, you know, they probably don't think they're perfect. I've definitely seen art and gone, wow, that's incredible, that's perfect. And the artists probably, you know, they probably got it good enough in their minds, you know? Even my art, sometimes people really praise it, and I'm disappointed in it, but it ends up doing really well. People end up really liking it more than I do. And that's good, you know, that's a good feeling. You know, surprisingly positive responses from people. It's a pleasant surprise. Not that people are often rude about my art or anything, but I'm often rude about my art, not gonna lie. I didn't want to blast the file size even more and crash my computer. This drawing did keep crashing, by the way, because I think the file was just getting so big with the time-lapse and stuff. That's a problem. Thankfully, I was able to recover it pretty easily. So, yeah, I'm doing these drawings on limited layers. These coloring layers, I should say. So, every character's body, that's one layer. Like, the characters aren't separated by their own layers, because I'm pretty sure that would take up more space. So I have to be careful where the characters overlap each other, that the color doesn't bleed from character to character, because their base colors are sharing layers. But it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. I found it quite easy, actually. Nisa here, that snake, I like how he's turned out here. I did have a concept art of him a while ago that I didn't get around to finishing, where he looked completely different. I thought he looked pretty cool. But I completely changed it, and I think he looks much better now. But yeah, I might end up changing a number of these designs again. Who knows? Or dares to meme. Yeah, Goph, I just sort of whipped up the coloring on a whim there. I didn't really visualize it before. But I realized I have multiple goats who are just like generic white goats, and I should probably vary them up a bit because goats are very varied in their fur patterns in real life, so there's a lot of options there. I like what I chose there. I didn't want to make him look too intimidating. He is a goofball of a character, so he should look a bit goofy. It shouldn't look like one of those demonic, satanic goats or anything. It should just look normal. Friendly. Went a bit crazy with this golden eagle. Yeah, I haven't really... I didn't realize golden eagles were so complicated in their colorings, so yeah, kind of went all out with that. The character in the top left, I forgot his name. He had some like normie ass, was it Damien or something? Damon? I don't know. He's basically a ripoff of Leviathan the Tidehunter from Dota 2. Once you see that, once you look that up, you won't unsee it. Not gonna lie, kind of just ripped that off. But yeah, we almost have all the characters colored in now, at the very least. Like, holy moly. This time-lapse is a marathon. We're not out of the woods yet, though. Have to color in objects, sunglasses, the background. The background was surprisingly not as hard as I was expecting. The pool was. The pool was a bit of a nightmare. But aside from that, the rest was pretty straightforward, I think. Yeah, there we go. Wow, that looked instantaneous. It gives you the idea. So we're going to add shading here to the background to make it look a bit more, a bit less flat, a bit less slapdash. And I think the rest of it's going to be shading just about. I think it looks pretty good. I think this halftone shading was a pretty good idea. Might have tacked on an extra hour or so. Maybe 2 hours, I don't know. But, yeah, it wasn't that bad. Simple shading goes a long way, you know? There's sort of diminishing returns on everything, so, you know, a little bit goes a long way. Wow, are we approaching the end here soon? Looks like it. We're just gonna blast through the final bits really quickly. It's kind of surreal going back to this, looking through this. It's like, wow, yeah. This was a big project. Wow. Yeah, I hope you liked it, though. Hope this was as much fun for you as it was tedious for me to do. But it was fun. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, there we go. Looks like that's that. And yeah, thank you to my subscribers on Subscribestar. Blah. Subscribestar.adult. We have Asmo, Void, and Thew. And I'll try to get back to drawing things for Subscribestar, but mostly this project took up a lot of time. I think I'm a month, maybe 2 months behind. That's kind of bad, but I'll try to get back into that. I'll try to draw more in general. And yeah, I don't know, I'm doing writing as well, but that's neither here nor there, except it's kind of both. But anyway, thank you for the support. Thank you for watching these videos and liking them. It means a lot, you know. And yeah, have a great day.